little bit supply blocked is RedArchon for a minute. Those 5 rage supply depots going down simultaneously are a bit indicative.
6 now.
And 2-2 just started for him as well. More and more High Templar coming in into the army of MacSed. And I'd like to know what you think about this as well, because the Observer was in between the natural and the third. So he knows that RedArchon, if he gets a good position, he can keep RedArchon in his base. And when you can keep someone in your base and you have the 2 ramps there like that, I can't really think of many things better than like just more and more good storms in reserve.
Yep. No, I mean, it's a powerful position to have for sure, but the fact that he pulled back, he knew he had to take a third, and if he stays up there too long and the bunkers don't get canceled, then RedArchon can move out with some medevacs, and it becomes a little bit of a sloppy game. So I feel like MacSed's saying, you know what, I think I can outplay him. He found a timing he wanted to take. RedArchon stopped it, so he's saying, all right, I'll back up. I'll take a little bit of a disadvantage and try to win still.
And here's what's cool as well. A Warp Prism just came out, although I don't know where on the map it is for MacSed. But I think the Observer was still between the bases when, there it is right there, when all the bunkers just got salvaged. So I wonder if MacSed, nice drop there from RedArchon. Those Zealots not really getting much purchase there, but they will eventually, I hope, take it down. The AI really kind of fumbling about.
Yeah, he needs to actually tell those Zealots to go in a different direction. That 4-1 guy doing all the work there. And MacSed is getting ready now for a transition into Colossus, which is nice, but I really like what RedArchon's done here. He's expanded to like such a random location, that top left natural. Yeah, that's somewhere you're not going to look as Protoss, because why would he expand there? You could kill us so easily. So that's very tricky, a nice move indeed.
Well, and he's combining that with moving out across the map. It looks like that dot near the top there might be the warp. Picking off a oh wow, catching a lot of bio units with that cycle, but so many medevacs are healing that up pretty quick. And he didn't really follow it up with a full-on engagement or more storms from the High Templar. So it looks like just going to be resetting. So, and the Warp Prism, by the looks of things, heading into the main base now.
Yeah, and well, we'll see if he can actually get a lot of damage done here, because that was actually pretty nice in the middle by his opponent. So RedArchon coming right up with these units and actually killing things off. I mean, he's playing a great game right now. Look at these supplies, 194 to 170.
Yeah, he's just...
This is not what I expected out of RedArchon. He's like... I mean, if you don't look at what his idea is here, you can't really tell him apart from like a very high-end Korean Terran. I'm not talking like Code S, but still, this is like, what a good play.
But at the moment, and cloaking as well, so he's just going to make sure that he has what it to deal with those High Templars later on, and just have them all be able to spread. Saw another one this morning, I think. I forget who it was off the top of my head, where oh my god, carnage and a half, but out in time, and your opponent just has either Storms or Colossi, or heaven forbid both. Like, you need a miracle to come through that kind of thing, man.
So very true, but I mean, RedArchon's staying on top of these things. He is adding another factory, which means that he realizes that he needs more starports, because there's double Robo Colossus coming out right now. So a good move there by him. And now let's take a look. Oh my god, another huge set of storms, and MacSed is just not stopping with these size storms. Now this army moving out, this is a huge army, another big size storm. RedArchon, he might be over committing here. Then these, there's just no dodging of the storms whatsoever. And oh man, look at that, he's trying to run away now, but a lot of these medevacs could in fact fall down. They are slower than the Stalkers. Not a lot of targeting going on, though, so I guess he will get away with most of them, which is really good, because that is 11 medevacs. But, I mean, damage has been dealt to this army. His composition is not as strong as he hopes it would be here.
Yeah, those size storms earlier as well did so much damage to the bio there from RedArchon, but if you look at those medevacs, they still have so much energy left, so he was able to head back and reset, and it looks like we have another engagement going on now. good preemptive storm. A lot of the bio walking into that, actually. Second storm doing a decent amount of damage. Those Colossi have complete free reign in the background. The Vikings weren't in position, but RedArchon has such a good concave, and he's able to push this back.
He truly does, and that was impressive for him to hold it that strongly. And once again, we see one of our players slightly overcommitting there. This time MacSed, oh god, and then he lost both of his Colossi. It looks like he was on attack move there and didn't realize. And now RedArchon with that sneaky fourth base, it's really paying off. Look at these supplies. 179 to 133.
A 40 supply lead now. A couple of storms to try and aid the army getting it. That's actually pretty good, in fact. Forces RedArchon back. And those medevacs are starting to look a little bit dry, Aratosis. There's only a couple of them with more than about a third energy left. He needs to really watch how much he stims from now, and otherwise a good storm will pick the rest of that off.
And I gotta say, I would not mind if he backs up at any point with this army to just use all his SCVs to repair those medevacs, because they are getting low, and that's when you start to see storms kill medevacs. And that's when, I mean, you thought storm was bad before. If it's killing your medevacs, not only are your units not getting healed, but you have to buy those medevacs again.
Oh, and it looks like he's getting sick of the way things are going right now, because RedArchon has got the nukes on the way, man. I can't wait to see where he's going to be using these.
So strong, dropping a lot of mules at his fourth base. The fourth is up for MacSed. Well, actually, that's his fifth base, to be honest, even though it's the fourth base location. And with those two new expansions coming up, RedArchon is just completely on top of his macro. He is beasting it up right now.
Yeah, but both sides still have a healthy economy going. We haven't really seen that much in the way of harassment this game. RedArchon effectively taking every base on his half of the map at the moment, really trying to ramp that up. They're kind of even as far as harvesters go, but RedArchon in the long term will just have more to work with.
Yeah, his income definitely is about 1,000 mils per minute higher than big. And oh my god, huge Psy Storms going off there.
That was an attempt at such a good flank from RedArchon there, but MacSed just about reacting in time, forcing a lot of energy to be used from those high Templars. There aren't actually that many left with this army because a lot of them have become Archons, but there's so much DPS in this Protoss army. I think RedArchon needs to get some excellent EMPs off, and he's doing now, but the storms!
Oh my god, huge storms once again. RedArchon not dodging. Seems to be his MO by this point, but he has to be very careful here. Can he repair that and rally out more units and actually hold this attack off? Maybe, yeah.
The medevacs almost can't cope. They're like down to almost no health right now. And like you said, there's about 4 of them there that would actually get taken out by a good storm right now. They haven't been repaired. Yeah. I'm really worried for RedArchon right now. He's been looking so strong this game, but it feels like he's falling apart a little bit here almost.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he can hold on another big storm. RedArchon does not care to dodge storms whatsoever, but he's got enough units that he is coming out here and targeting down Colossi, but that is a lot of charge Zealots.
Yeah, those Marauders were a great choice composition-wise, but the Zealots just picked them to pieces here. And there are still 3 or 4 Colossi left out on the field, 2 of them on very, very red health, but nothing's attacking him at the moment. And MacSed is looking set now to head straight in and completely obliterate the natural expansion.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's doing. It looks like he just has too much. RedArchon has played an amazing game up here, and he's not quite dead yet, but to come back from here would be an impressive feat indeed.
Oh, he's more than 50 supply down at this point. He's rallying out Marauders, which is great because while the Zealots are trying to pick apart the Orbital and the SCVs, they can maybe take some pot shots at the Colossi. But I can't help but feel it's a little too late. Oh, 2 more High Templars, possibly getting some storms off at the 4th base there as well. And RedArchon's supply now plummeting to under 90. I think he's dead here, man.
Yeah, it is looking like it. He does have a lot of production facilities. He's producing a lot of units at once, but when you're on top of him like this, they are dead, and GG. RedArchon goes down to MacSed in game number 1, but I tell you what, for a lot of that game, the better player was actually RedArchon.
It really was. I mean, there were large periods of that game where he completely dominated the center.